Bertram, while I have you.
You don't have me.
Richard's just tasked me with streamlining productivity and balancing headcount. Can you explain to me why you have no one working under you? Just seems odd considering that the Agile board is showing that you have a massive backlog.
You're new here, so I'll forgive the patronizing tone. I'm more concerned with being right than being fast. And I don't like dealing with people. To wit, are we done?
Oh, you're that guy.
What guy, exactly?
The brooding, arrogant guy who refuses to take orders? Self-taught coder who looks down on anyone who's taken a class? You're probably an atheist or something more contrarian. You claim to be an anarcho-capitalist, but you work here and pay taxes. You've probably read half of Neil Stephenson's Cryptonomicon, and it's about 50-50 whether you own a snake.
His girlfriend owns a snake.
So we're here and we're drinking beer and we don't know if it's 5% or not. Let's just say it is.
It feels 5%-y. I just feel it. It's 5%-y.
It would be a travesty if we were
like
drinking
a rap song or a
beer.
rapper 5%-y.
Yeah, so anyway, this is TV10 podcast episode, I forget.
0298.
Okay.
We're just 2 episodes away as we slog towards 300 episodes.
Then we sell the syndication and we retire.
That's it. Well, you're retiring. Me, I'm just going to drink my problems away.
We get these on the Ion channel between CSI and Law and Order reruns.
Oh.
It'll be great.
Oh, and don't
Heyday.
forget. Oh, and don't forget our YouTube channel. That's right on after Cobra Kai, live on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Not live on the air because it's recorded.
Yeah, anyway, I'm Bill Frost over there.
And I'm Tommy Milagro.
And special guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Laura Jones. I'm drinking the tap water.
Hey, look. way to ruin the illusion of radio.
Wow.
Wait.
This isn't radio.
I know. That's one of my pet peeves when everybody refers to their podcast or their online show as radio. It's like, fuck you. It's not radio.
Well, see, right there, the F-bomb. You can drop that with impunity.
Well, that's it kind of got a little cold in here just because I should think we need to deliver a...
Not a frost warning yet.
It's not... okay.
No, because I've done that too many times where I just say, your internet show is not fucking radio, okay? Quit calling it that.
All right. Just making sure. We'll get to a frost warning here pretty soon. I feel it being...
Laura is, of course, from KRCL's Radioactive, weeknights at 6 p.m. here in SLC, also at krcl.org.
And the last time I was here, I had just stopped working for the cop shop, right?
Mm-hmm. I think you might have been here one time after that as well.
You think so? Okay, well, anyway, I remember that time because I was drinking more than tap water.
Well,
you guys drink some strong stuff then, so
maybe
I can
that's
only
why
imagine.
you don't remember it. Yeah.
I know, right?
I actually, we thought you were coming last week, and I was like, oh, we have the underground. Should we do a sneaky Pete again? Phrasing. Boom.
That's the one. That's the one that got her last time. So.
Oh yeah,
it was. Well, and I hadn't really had a drink in at least 6 years because I was afraid I'd get arrested in a city car.
Well,
that would be embarrassing. Working for the cops and then getting pulled over.
Nowadays, that is a bit of a worry.
I've seen Blue Bloods. I know what happens.
You're hep to this. So.
You've seen Blue Bloods, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
How close to reality is that?
Not remotely, as far as I can tell. I love the whole family vibe that what's his name, Magnum gets going around the table.
Selleck, yeah.
Every episode has the family dinner.
Yeah,
and more importantly, he has the cop stash.
Yeah, he does have that big porn stash.
But as far as policy and the way things run, not even close.
It's very dramatized, shall we say. There's lots of politics that go on. I mean, any form of government.
And I must correct you, Tom Selleck does not have a porn stash. He has a cop stash. There's the difference.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. Yes.
What do you think of the new Magnum, by the way? Can I just take you down that rabbit hole right now?
No porn stash, no cop stash. Don't care.
He's a brown Magnum. I've watched exactly one episode.
I
so.
should care, but no staff.
I watched a couple, and it's a comfy little show to watch. The thing is that Magnum and Higgins are getting it on, but whenever I look at them, I see Magnum and Higgins.
I keep forgetting there's
the
a female
OGs.
Higgins.
Yeah, and so it's kind of a little weird.
Yeah, kind of weird. Yeah.
Oh my God, Magnum.
Anyway, we're drinking Bohemian Brewery's. What is it?
Oh, that would be the Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. Okay.
Because it's not done with October yet.
They're one of our sponsors, one of our many fine alcohol sponsors. I was at a Bohemian event on Friday night at the State Room.
Oh.
It was a heavy music, heavier beer,
How was it?
a celebration of new beer. It was pretty fun. Molinaro Chopper.
Chopper, man, we had him on the show.
I heard that.
recently.
Yeah,
he
cool.
was awesome.
He played with the full band. I don't know if Dave Payne actually plays saxophone, knows how to play saxophone, but he can make some really cool sounds with
He
it.
can make it.
I don't
speak.
know if he's a trained or skilled saxophone player,
That
but
man
he
can
could
play anything, can't he?
pretty much. Yeah.
Just watches a YouTube video. and
Also,
away it goes.
Way played.
Oh, they're so loud.
Oh yeah,
Our good friend Spock at Way.
yeah.
played?
Spock's went on the show,
All right.
Oh, he's awesome too.
and Thunderfist also played.
Thunderfist.
It was a good time all around.
So what was heavier, the music or the beer?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Well, since I'm mostly deaf anymore, I would say the beer. There's a lot of good beer, and they also had a really good taco cart outside as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the important thing. But we
the Day of the Dead, yeah. So NSFW,
yeah, we should point out to our good fans of the TV10 podcast that have
all 12 of you.
that have slogged your way through as we're nearing towards 300 episodes. Our show is not safe for work, but Laura Jones.
Yes.
What does NSFW mean for you?
Need some free weed.
Oh, there we go.
You like that
Now
one?
that we've crossed the hurdle of beer, weed is next.
That's right. We're gunning for you.
Years ago, it was the private club thing. Now it's the beer thing. The weed thing is next.
That's right. We just need that good smoke going. That
Man,
little THC.
if we could line up some dispensary sponsorships,
Oh, we would be shut down in a hurry if that happened.
I don't know.
You can do the CBD though, can't you?
Maybe, yeah.
Who
I do- I-
isn't doing the CBD?
I enjoy the CBD.
You need the Hemp Farmers of America or something like that.
That'll be our next sponsor.
I hear they're trying to grow hemp in South Salt Lake, and the city is like dragging its feet on letting them.
Really?
People
get
are
it.
Because-
saying, so I'm hearing.
That's weird because South Salt Lake is pretty much game for anything, as far as I can tell. We have pretty much distillery and brewery row right over on West Temple here.
Oh, can we brand that as such? Distillery and Brewery Row?
It's kind of a mouthful. But yeah, you've got Sugar House, our fine friends over there. You got Beehive Distillery. You've got Salt Fire Brewery. You've got Shades Brewery. You've got Level Crossing. You've got a couple more over there that I don't even know about.
Right.
South Salt Lake just pretty much says bring your fucking business here. So that kind of surprises me that.
So we just need Hemp Rising as our...
Hemp Rising, yes.
Yes. I think that's next year.
Yeah, we've taken care of all the visits. Do we know what the fuck
No,
we're doing?
no,
This
no.
is kind of weird because we're recording on a Sunday night.
Yes, but
What's up
thankfully-
with that?
Got some business, got some rock and roll businesses to attend to on Monday night. So yeah.
But thankfully, we had our good friends, as I'm reaching out to our listener bags.
Oh yeah.
They...
I saw Richard Silver has something in there. Do you have that too?
I don't know about
He had a
Richard
question
Silver,
about
but
streaming
Nick Jo-
TV, which is something I'm trying to school Laura on right now. Yeah.
I don't know about Richard Silver. I do
It
know
was on
from
the
Nick
Facey-
Johnson.
Okay, it was on the Facey book.
All right, well, I'll try to look this up. But Nick Johnson, who reached out to us on the Facebook portion.
Nick Johnson. Okay.
Yeah. So he reached out to us, and and actually, this is timely here.
Oh, good.
And this is important for you.
We're
Laura.
nothing if not timely here.
Yes.
Breaking news.
Here at TV10 Radio, we're nothing but timely.
Thank you. So he writes, so I have cut the cord.
I
Okay.
want to. I
Dun,
want
dun,
to.
dun.
All right.
My only issue is I want to watch certain shows and have no clue what to even start to look. Also, I am currently using my PS4. I do have Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. I am really missing The Mayans, The Purge, and Van Helsing. What do you suggest? Thanks again, long-standing listener.
The PS4, huh? I'm not familiar with that device, but I hear it's pretty good. The one thing I would have recommended, but they're going out of business soon, PlayStation View, which is a live streaming service.
Yeah.
They're shutting down in January.
Oh.
So I can't recommend that. I can recommend things like to get your Mayans. Also, FX Plus is shutting down as well.
I will respond on this as I was the first.
You're a slinger, right?
I was a slinger.
What are you now?
I'm mooching off my roommate's DirecTV.
Oh well, you're not a cord cutter at all, so
Well,
you're out of this conversation.
No, I'm still a primer. I'm still a primer.
Yeah,
which
but
we'll get to.
that doesn't help him with Mayans.
Yes, it actually does. It does.
You just have to
and
be how many seasons behind?
Oh, is FX on Prime?
FX is not on Prime. However,
I don't see how this helps then.
because I speak from experience. I'm experienced that way. So Nick, I will respond to you this way. Get Sling. That's the best way to catch up on stuff like FX and USA and all that other stuff right there. It's only like, when I subscribed, it was like $25 a month.
That's a very basic package. Yeah.
And if you wanted to do, and we were talking about this earlier as we were in the Bohemian Brewery Green Room, Laura Jones.
Yes. I forgot that was branded that way.
Yes.
If you want to record stuff on the cloud or your DVR, they have a cloud option there for like $5 extra.
That's the thing. You got to pay extra for the cloud with Sling.
And here's the other side of that.
You got to pay for a lot of extras with Sling.
And
It's like Build-A-Bear of streaming TV.
exactly.
But can you put a heart cassette and
Yeah,
stick it
yeah,
in
you
there?
can. Yeah, for an extra $5.
Oh yeah, that would be the HBO package right there for $14.99. Not a sponsor.
Myself,
HBO
I would
Max, what is
recommend.
that? $14.99. I'm actually getting DirecTV.
Yeah, I would recommend something like looking into YouTube TV, which gives you a lot of channels, or Hulu with live TV.
Does it give you Mayans?
Yeah, FX. Yes, it does.
Oh, it does.
Yes, it
Okay,
does, yeah.
I was not aware of that part. So,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Hey, you guys mentioned a show that I gave up on a while ago, Van Helsing. Did it get good again?
Actually,
I don't have the patience to go
You're-
and try and catch up on it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the-
I would say
happened.
don't. I've stuck with it, and I'm going to stick with it till the end.
Yeah, the bitter
But if I had
end.
bailed at any point along the last couple of seasons, I would stay out.
Okay.
Which segues now nicely to our segment of the program we ask our guests here at TV10 Podcast. So, Laura Jones,
Yeah.
the segment is, what the fuck are you watching?
Well, that would not be Van Helsing. Here's my my kind of complaint with the current Van Helsing season. First of all, Neil LaBute bailed. There's like a new guy took over,
Once again, a BYU graduate bailed on something.
and
Fine.
Also the title character Vanessa Van Helsing has barely been in this season.
Dude, what's up with that?
As far as
thought
I know,
was
she-
the answer. She's like the savior.
As far as I know, she didn't get pregnant or anything. Kelly Overton. That's usually the excuse when someone disappears for.
What if she's getting ready to cross over into Winona Earp territory?
Oh, I love Winona
That
Earp.
would be a hell of a crossover.
Man, that is one of my favorites.
If sci-fi were smart, they would do some sort of
they
crossover.
are not smart.
They are not.
cancel
so-
shows that I love. What is up with that?
Yeah, Winona Earp coming back next year. They had to do a little Kickstarter
Oh,
to get
Well,
things
well,
happening.
it got renewed, but the production company, do I have that right?
IDW, the comic book
Somebody
company.
gambled
Yeah.
the money away or something.
Yeah.
So
So it's like a co-production between Sci-Fi and IDW, and IDW couldn't come up with their portion of the money because they're comic books or something.
what in the name of Veronica Mars is this Kickstarter thing going?
But
about?
they did it. The Earpers, they got together and they made it happen.
Not the same as a marshmallow.
The Winona Earp fan base is ridiculously dedicated.
it's a good show, though, right?
It's a very good show, yeah.
I remember watching the first episode going, I think this might be good. And then going, please be good, please be good.
Yeah, they've done 3 seasons so far,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 4. I'm not sure where we're at, but they've all been great. So
And I think it's just one. Is that what's happening when they come back? It's the last season?
I don't think so.
I hope not, because I really like
No, I think the outcry has been so big that they're going to at least do a couple more. I mean, if they could do 6 seasons of Z Nation, they can do anything.
right.
I would try. I would dip into that show every now and then. I'd just be like, I don't think it matters if I know what came before.
No,
what
not
comes
at all.
next.
It made no sense.
None of it made sense.
Yeah.
It's like
It-
Supernatural, but you
It
know.
started off as a serious.
like Supernatural
It started
still.
off as kind of a serious show. Then
Yeah.
they decided, wait, The Walking Dead's already doing a serious zombie show, so let's just go wacky with
Because
it.
didn't Zombieland, the first one, come out right around the same
I
time?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we're going that way.
Yeah. So there's that. So what are you currently watching that
Well,
you
last
can't get
night
enough of?
I surfed across Tootsie.
Really?
What?
And I was just like,
Where did you find that?
As in Dustin Hoffman's
yeah,
Tootsie?
it was like on PBS or something. I was just,
what?
I woke up on the couch and it was
What's
just
going on at PBS anymore?
I know.
That's not
Country
Downton Abbey.
music. The documentary was fantastic.
I hear that. Yeah, I'm
So.
going to get to it.
You're gonna get to it.
Here's one thing that in streaming, PBS pretty much doesn't exist in streaming at the moment. They haven't
Really?
figured it out because there's too much licensed content,
Well, you got to figure out how to do the tote bags.
and that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
PBS has their own app, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So
But,
Tootsie,
yeah, I was so like, whoa, does this hold up or not?
and does it?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not
Bigger
at all.
question.
Dabney Coleman, though. I love Dabney
Oh,
Coleman.
who doesn't?
Yeah.
He is a treasure.
And they're
Buffalo
going to be
Bill.
redo 9 to 5, so that's what happened.
Really?
Wait, what?
Who do they have anybody attached to this?
Yeah, they do. I can't remember who. You have to do the Google while we're talking.
I'm gonna
You're not
guess
that
it's some.
interested?
I'm gonna guess it's somebody like Selena Gomez.
You.
Okay, so what am I watching? I do like the new Nancy Drew. I
Okay.
can't quite figure out what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched the first episode,
Uh-huh.
and I have not gotten back to it yet. And it seems like it's got a bit of a supernatural twist
Yeah,
to
it does. And there's some really weird casting in it. And by weird, I mean, what's his name from Party of Five is like the dad of Nancy Drew, but they look more like they're dating.
Luke Perry? Oh, no,
No,
wait.
no.
No,
Wrong
he's-
one.
no,
Scott. It's not Scott Foley. It's
One of
Scott
the-
Wolf.
Scott Wolf.
Scott
Okay.
Wolf.
Oh.
But the rest of it is really interesting, and I can't quite figure out what the supernatural bit is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still like Supernatural.
Okay.
The original flavor, supernatural. Mrs. Frost will watch 6 hours
Of Supernatural.
just during the daytime. It's just on all
I
the
still,
time.
after all these years, cannot keep the two character names, the brothers.
Sam and Dean.
Yeah.
Sammy's got the long hair.
Uh-huh.
Dean's got the short hair.
Yeah, Dean's my guy.
Dean.
Okay.
Dean's my
Yeah.
guy.
You're a Dean.
I'm
I
a
get it.
Dean. Yeah.
I mean, how do you survive that long on a diet of just cheeseburgers and beer? How does he
so
do
how are
it?
you guys doing it?
I'm trying. God damn it.
I loved Killjoys that ended
Ooh.
on Sci-Fi.
How did you like the finality of it? Did you
Not-
think it tied up well?
No, I want
No.
more. And what's her name? The evil one who marries the aliens. The character names I don't really keep in my head anymore. I'm getting
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
But I liked how deliciously evil she was, but then she becomes somewhat redeemed.
Somewhat slightly less
Somewhat,
evil. Yeah.
But in the end, she goes off to looks like.
Oh, well, good for her.
And then I'm waiting for what's the other one that moved to Prime?
The Expanse.
Yes,
Okay.
that is so trippy.
Basically, Game of Thrones in space is what the way the original pitched it, and it is pretty dense.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot, and what's his name from Hung, who's in
Thomas
it?
Thomas
Jane.
Jane.
Yeah, I still don't understand what happened to his character, who I think is still in the ether somewhere.
I think he's gone.
You think he's
I
gone?
think he's
I
gone,
think he's
yeah.
just trans.
He's drooped.
Mostly, it's hilarious that you attach Thomas Jane to Hung. It's like not one of his better
Not
known roles.
Punisher or Hung.
But do you know who else was on Hung? Do you recall anybody?
I don't know.
His younger rival gigolo on the series Hung on HBO from several years ago, also starring Anne Heche.
Shit.
Stephen Amell.
Oh,
Arrow.
Okay, what
Thank
is
you.
going on in Arrow?
I don't know.
They started splitting, these jumping forward, and
We're
I don't
splitting
get
the
it.
timelines.
Oh, okay.
I don't get it.
There's a
great
there-
segue.
There's Arrow Jr.
Yeah. Well, let's segue into that because
I'm gonna
coming
take
up
that.
pretty soon, thank you, is going to be the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And I haven't been watching Supergirl and feel like I have to watch it now.
No, you don't. You're
Thank
fine.
you.
Have you
You're-
checked out
you're doing
Have you
okay.
checked out Batwoman?
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool.
That's the one to pay attention to. But this is all Greg Berlanti's and Warner Brothers and DC's
Yeah.
ultimate FU to the Marvel Universe. They're trying to say, oh, you can do this with Avengers Endgame? Well, watch this, motherfuckers.
I know, right?
And maybe to a lesser extent, a big fuck you to the Justice League. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You know, the character that I love because he gets to change every time is what's his name from Ed, and his character is Wells.
Oh,
On The Flash.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like how he gets to reinvent himself as the different
As a different
worlds.
version of
Yeah.
Wells. Yeah.
Send to Earth 1. I don't know how, Earth 1 is Earth 1. Why isn't it Earth
Well, that's all
32?
part of the crisis. Is that the whole universes, the multiverses, are starting to collapse, and now it's up to the heroes to try to prepare to get ready to stop it. It's part of the comic that was out in the late 80s. Excuse me. It was all part of the...
But now one of the
Yes.
Earths is gone, right?
Yeah.
one of the
them's
Earths
gone.
is gone.
There's too many Earths. We can lose one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Because there were too many people
If
in
this
there.
one is next, I'm cool with that too.
But who's the guy that's... I don't even know his character. What is the Monitor? Is that
Yeah,
what it
the
is?
Monitor. Yeah.
What is that?
He's
Yeah,
kinda like the
explain
Great
that.
Sewer.
Explain that, Tommy Milagro. Explain the Monitor.
he's
This will be our new segment, the Monitor Mix. Tell us all about what the fuck is up with the Monitor.
a mix?
he's a universal ref. He's saying this is what's happening.
But he's saying there's, you can't win. You can't win. And Team Flash never buys that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's Barry Allen.
Team Flash is so optimistic.
Not now.
Really? Have they broken them?
No,
Yeah.
no. They're starting to show cracks.
You think?
And then Team Arrow, well, at least Stephen Amell is going, well, we're trying to work this way through this, but motherfucker is hard. And that's kind of where you were talking about this last episode that just dropped. There's Ollie going, oh, wait, those are my kids? Which explains some of the flashback, flash forward scenes right there.
But we did hear that Felicity will be back for the final episode of Arrow.
So wait, where did she go? Because I've been trying to stick with it because I know it's going to end soon, but I still don't get what happened to her.
Well, real life, she just said, I'm done. I'm good.
Got my money. We're in syndication.
Exactly. And as far as this season,
As far as the character, I'm going to say she's in Mexico. Just chilling.
well,
She had to do something then what? She had to run and hide? Or
yeah, that's how the timeline plays after the end of season 7. And that's when the Monitor just goes, you need to help save the universe there, Arrow. So, yeah. Well, he didn't say Ollie. He just goes, Arrow.
Well, there was one of I'm trying to remember which show it was, and the different, couplings, and
There's too many of them.
there was the picture of the other Oliver from Smallville.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they coupled him. I can't remember who they coupled him with, but there was a picture on a desk.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I know.
There's
know the
also
one
a
you're
couple of
talking
different Lois Lanes happening.
Yeah.
about. Yeah. Oh, and we won't even get into Supergirl where they do the Save Me theme song from Smallville.
Oh, did they do that? Okay.
That was last year, but still awesome. I will just say that this season with the Arrowverse convalescing, gonna be awesome. Black Lightning, not gonna be a part of it that I can see.
I haven't picked it back up.
I'm just waiting for Legends to come back.
Yeah.
Because Legends has just turned into a comedy. They don't give a fuck anymore. They say, yeah, let's just go for it. We don't care.
What about the Legacies? Do you like that one?
Legacies. That's
that's
is that one of the Vampire Diaries spinoffs?
Yeah, it's the new one.
Yeah.
Where Alaric he was the headmaster. And they jumped into some pool and everybody forgot Hope, and now he's the principal.
I have not gotten into that.
It's actually kind of good.
The CW shows I stick with are Supernatural and anything in the DC, and then I check out things like Nancy Drew, and I forget to get back to them.
Nancy Drew is worth it.
And I keep flashing back to years ago when we had the Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up
it's
now.
Was it on the CW?
No, it was
on the CW,
It was Rain.
Rain.
Memory serves.
Rain.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
The Mary-
I never did watch that one.
The dramatized Mary Queen of
Yeah,
Scots.
and it wasn't Rain. It was Rain.
Yeah, they're all like that on the CW.
Okay, so non-teen soap. Let's see, what am I watching?
Are you watching anything for adults, Laura?
Yeah, Stumptown.
Yes.
Ooh,
I'm
there we
loving
go.
Stumptown.
That's one of our favorites here. Yeah,
Who is the guy that runs the bar? What was he from?
he's from New Girl.
From New Girl?
Did you ever watch New Girl?
No, I didn't.
Pretty funny.
You're not a.
He looks
Zoe.
a little bit like the guy from Numbers, but it's not the guy from Numbers.
It is not
nope.
that guy. No,
Nope.
no. He's just got that kind of look. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Donald Logue arc.
Yeah, that was good. I never watched that I wish I had, jumping back to kind of that CW realm, was Gotham.
Gotham.
Oh. worth it?
Okay.
Yeah, Gotham
kinda.
is worth checking out eventually.
Because
Except-
he was in that.
Yes, he was. He was one of the main characters in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Except my problem, no cop Stash.
Yeah, the Jim Gordon of Gotham never had except for one very brief scene in the final episode.
It's still
You can
bullshit.
see it was, the future. It was
Yeah,
a reference
yeah.
to the future. But no, Stumptown with what's her name? Colby
Smulders.
Smulders.
Yes.
I love
Agent
it.
Hill.
She just beats the crap out of everybody.
Oh yeah, did you ever watch Jessica Jones?
I
on
did not
Netflix?
have whatever it was. Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Netflix.
I would
And,
recommend checking it out sometime.
Binge it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, watch it while you still can on Netflix, because Lord knows when that's going to be gone.
True, it might move over to the Disney thing, but
Yeah, that's cute.
Stumptown is in a very small way channeling Jessica Jones, just a little.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's a lot more lighthearted though.
What I really like is the relationship with her brother
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
the guy that plays the brother.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I will say though, going back to Jessica Jones, if it ever gets to Disney Plus, that's going to be a long shot. Only because, and I'm just kind of basing this off of how Mayans has reacted to the whole Disney-fication of Fox. So,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's hasn't worked out well for Kurt Sutter.
well,
Showrunner?
we've
Yeah,
talked.
yeah.
Well, he was.
He kind of ran afoul of the Disney people.
Well, and he's kind of explained that there was one reason that he could tie to that said, yeah, I was kind of done for. He put in a joke in season 2, like in the very beginning, and the Mayans were trying to, take care of heroin business like you do in Tijuana. And there's Coco, who's the Mayans' answer to Tig, going, what'd you think there? You think we're going to go on a run to Disneyland there, Easy? And I guess Easy responded, well, it's where all the Jews were buried, and
So Walt liked Nazis. Walt thought Adolf had a few good ideas.
yeah.
So
And then there's Coco going, damn, man, that's dark. And that's coming from Coco.
yeah, so
Whoops.
there's some weirdness going on there between now Disney owns FX, but not Fox. It's weird the way things are splintered. Disney owns FX and FXX and some of the other stuff, but they do not own Fox Broadcast proper.
Yeah.
Fox Broadcast is now technically an independent.
And to quote Coco, my bad.
Yeah.
I'd still hang on to Blacklist,
Okay.
but I've lost track of who he's supposed to be. What's his name?
Yeah, he's not red, but he is
Yeah.
red, but it doesn't matter. But mostly.
But is he really her father or not?
I don't think so. No.
I remember that time in Rangoon.
Yeah.
Those are getting a bit tedious, aren't they?
I was at a haberdashery in Cancun.
And nobody shoots him. Nobody shoots him.
No.
It's like just gives me an Austin Powers moment. Just shoot him in the head. He's right there.
I have a gun. We can just take him out right there.
Mostly, we can just rejoice that Elizabeth now has her own hair.
One I missed that moved to streaming and now I think it's been canceled was what was the devil one?
Lucifer.
Lucifer, yeah.
It is. They did season 4 on Netflix. There will be a season 5. That will be the final season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
And
it get better or worse when it moved?
I have not caught up myself.
Okay.
I'm a bit behind on Lucifer
Couldn't
myself.
tell you there either. So
Okay.
But there's too many shows for
there's
one thing.
too many shows.
But I will get to it.
So how are you handling that explosion of content? There's no way you
Not
can
well.
watch it all. Well, and it's changing. It's
I'm
like
doing what I can.
I the things that I do have access to because I have Prime. I'm a Primer.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't watched the latest Maisel, and I think there's the third season
Marvelous
already.
Mrs. Maisel.
Marvelous
Oh.
Mrs. Maisel. And the High Castle just dropped, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to binge them because then they're over.
Well, actually,
if you do have the discipline to just watch one a week,
I don't have the discipline.
yeah. So I
I
don't
get
know.
hooked. It's like a drug, and then I'm up till 3 in
Well-
the morning, and then I can't go to
well,
work.
you'll need to catch up on at least Mrs. Maisel because tragedy.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone
Brad
died.
Tarantino. He's dead.
Yeah, the actor.
Brad Tarantino. Jackie from The Gaslight. He
Oh,
got
yeah.
gaslighted.
Oh, that's too bad.
His gaslight got extinguished. And that was kind of the big news right there. Also, here's the other tragedy.
Who else is dead?
Rudy from Survivor.
Oh,
Original.
yeah, Rudy Bosch, right? Was that his name? Bosch?
Yeah,
Bosch,
yeah.
Bosch,
It was,
Bosch?
yeah.
Oldest Survivor contestant and
Probably the only one people universally liked.
One of the few, yeah.
Yeah, and then then there was the suck that was Richard Hatch.
Oh my gosh, he's still alive.
Well, Mrs. Frost still watches Survivor.
Okay.
I catch it once in a while, but
It's like season 38. Has it been on 38 years?
well, no, that's like
it's like every
feels
2
like-
or
that's
3
two
a
seasons
year.
a year. So
Still.
divide that by 2. But every once in a while, I'll check in and I'll see what she's watching. It's like, this motherfucker Boston Rob is still here? How is he still a thing? Why is this fucker still a thing there? And mostly, I've been writing lately about the things that are happening on Apple TV Plus
Yeah, anything good?
Well,
and Disney Plus. Apple TV Plus, the morning show. At first, I was kind of skeptical at first because the morning show.
Jennifer
What morning show?
Aniston,
That
Steve
one.
Carell.
Yeah, it is called The Morning Show. Jennifer Aniston,
Oh,
Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell. I was skeptical at first because you hire America's most beloved comedy stars to be in a media political drama.
So, yeah, and I think my first reaction was, what in the name of Studio 60 is this shit?
But Steve Carell plays an anchor who gets kind of Matt Lauered. Yeah, that's kind of his deal. And Jennifer Aniston is his longtime co-host, and she's
Savannah. That's Savannah.
she's kind of oblivious, like, what? So, but now it's up to her to kind of save the show. And Reese Witherspoon is being brought in.
Because she's younger.
Not really.
I know, but they play it that way, right?
Kind of, but not really. Mostly she's more of a serious journalist.
Oh, okay.
I
So
will
that-
say,
that's the conflict there.
and I will say the little snippets I've seen of Jennifer Aniston, there's moments I can feel like she's trying to Bryan Cranston that thing, going, oh, she was oblivious, but now she's trying to be a hard ass.
But there have been like a lot of middling reviews. I would say it's better than you think, which is I've seen a lot of late reviews come in after after it's premiered. It's like,
What did I read? It was something like along the lines of, compared to the film work she's done, it's great.
well,
It was a real backhanded compliment. It's like, thank God she's back on TV-ish.
yeah. I would say the morning show is a lot less heavy-handed than the newsroom.
Kind of goes without saying.
I could never get into that one. It just felt so heavy.
And one of my main points of the review of the morning show is like, stay with me here. It actually treats women like humans.
oh, wow.
So,
What?
which was something the newsroom didn't quite nail.
Well, and that brings me to the movie that's about to come out. That's the
Yes.
Fox story, Roger Ailes story.
Oh.
With, was it Nicole Kidman, Charlize Theron?
Yes.
Who's the other?
I can't
and
remember.
there's a third.
I know.
Margot
Megyn
Robbie.
Kelly,
Yeah.
Megyn
Margot Robbie
Gretchen
and,
Carlson.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Harlequin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you, I don't know if you have access to this or not. If not, I can probably hook you up.
You think?
The
Okay.
series The Loudest Voice from Showtime,
No, I haven't seen it.
the
Is it
Roger Ailes story.
Oh, God.
It's disgusting.
good? Woo!
Yeah.
But
But
that
can
was
you,
kind
Can
of
you see why we are where we are in this country?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, we talked about The Loudest Voice a lot here, and I just said it pretty much. If you have no idea why Fox News is a thing, this will explain to you
Why it's a thing.
how it happened.
And Russell Crowe at his bloatedness.
Oh my god! Yeah,
That is, he should be winning an Emmy at this
but
point.
And then you have to go watch Gladiator as a palate cleanser.
Are you not entertained?
yeah, but the other Apple TV Plus things. First of all, too many pluses. C, that is SEE, starring Jason Momoa.
I'm sorry, who?
I heard mixed things
Jason
about
Momoa. It
Thank you.
sucks. Don't bother. One season and done. Basically, it's another post-apocalyptic thriller to where half of the population of Earth has been wiped out. The other half has been rendered blind. So
that. Except for his kid.
his newly
Exactly.
born twins they have sight. So does that mean they are the chosen ones? And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's the part that really killed me. I was reading about this. Jason Momoa, because he used to be on this little indie show. You might have heard of it, Game of Thrones. And he was
I
going...
like to refer to him as Baywatch Hawaii's Jason Momoa.
Thank
Momoa.
you. Thank you.
I like him from the sci-fi show, which was wasn't it? Andromeda?
No.
No.
Stargate Atlantis.
There we go, Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
He
had
never
dreads.
really talked.
He had fake dreads
Yeah.
on Stargate Atlantis. Yeah.
Well, the
He
thing...
just smoldered around the set.
That's what he does best.
And, well, the thing that killed me, he was saying, that his character, Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, ended too quickly. I'm kind of happy with C because you kind of get to see what I could have done if that lasted a little longer. And I just went, hold up, Aquaman. Hold up.
And watching C, I will say Game of Thrones made the right call.
And I will only just say something about this smells fishy, Aquaman. Just saying.
Exactly. The other Apple TV Plus big series that premiered last week is called For All Mankind. It's from Ronald D. Moore. It's Battlestar Galactica.
It sounds like an
Outlander.
jeans brand, right?
For All Mankind. Yeah. What it is like it makes an alternate timeline to where it goes back to the 60s, and Russia got to the moon before we did.
This sounds like the Man in the High Castle.
Kind of.
Uh-huh.
It's almost the same thing,
It's-
except with fewer Nazis,
Which is what we all need at this point.
because it's not Disney. Anyway,
But enough about the Trump administration.
I'm not saying Walt Disney was a fascist Nazi sympathizer. I'm just saying if you unthawed his frozen head.
I'm only saying.
And first of all, unthawed is not a word. I just used it. Bad.
It's called defrosting.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
believe. Don't you
Or
want?
just thawed.
No, we were
To-
trying
to-
not to. Are we defrosting?
To unthaw something is to refreeze it.
That's right. There
Yeah.
you go.
I didn't go to school for English. I just know things.
And I'm only going to say on this subject here, you think we're bad about talking about this? Seth MacFarlane has talked about this on Family Guy. All right?
All right, Seth MacFarlane, when is his sci-fi show coming back?
The
What has
Orville.
happened to it?
It
The Orville.
it will be on Hulu.
It started getting good. So it's not on Fox then?
Not
it's
anymore.
going-
What happened?
It's going to Hulu. Basically, it would premiere on Fox. It would air on Fox TV proper, and then the next day it would be on Hulu for the cord cutters and the non-antenna people. And,
Like us.
and they discovered the numbers on Hulu were far better than what it was on broadcast. They said, well, fuck it, let's just put it on Hulu.
It started getting good.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, and they actually explained how monetary usage worked on that show, as opposed to Star Trek,
Yes,
who
that
had
was
for
also-
fucking ever to explain it.
They never did.
I love
explain
it.
that.
And then they did that, and that used to be my one complaint about Gene Roddenberry dying before he explained how they got rid of cash and started to, just improve themselves. And then
Oh, it wasn't
what's her
Venmo.
name did it in like a 10-second
minute,
line.
Yeah, it wasn't Venmo.
Nope. No, it was PayPal. They saved the world.
Wait, Venmo is PayPal.
God damn. All right. Fine.
Okay, we mentioned Stargate, and I miss those guys. I miss that show. I miss how all the characters work together. And
Yeah.
what's the next incarnation? Any news from Canada?
I don't think so. No.
Except for Letterkenny, which you've talked about as being
Well,
the greatest thing.
Letterkenny has nothing to do with the Stargate universe.
Well, I'm talking about Canadian imports.
Yeah, you had Stargate, you had Stargate Atlantis. There was another one in there somewhere. There was a later incarnation called Stargate Universe, which is a really dark one. It didn't have any humor to it whatsoever, and so it was quickly died.
Yeah.
Well, and then what's her name? I can see I'm getting so old. I can't remember people's names, or even their characters' names.
Well, at least you know what Venmo is.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the only way I get paid by people at work when we spot each other for lunch, right?
Okay. Public radio. Always on the cutting edge.
I'll Venmo you. Yeah, you will? Okay.
We're good with that.
And they never do because it's public radio. They have no money.
But what's her name? The woman in Stargate. She did that show where she had a really bad British accent, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
was like keeping all the creatures safe or something.
Yeah.
It was like kind of Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was
But
weird.
It went into syndication, but Amanda Tapping.
That's it.
She's now on to being a producer. She's a director now. I think she's off camera completely at this point. But anything else you're watching, or at least something you would say, I've seen that. I'm interested in that. I'm going to get to that
I think I've tapped my knowledge.
because between me and Tommy, we watch everything, but every once in a while we run across a normal person who doesn't watch as much TV as we do.
Okay, so I have to admit my guilty pleasures then, and that would be The Good Witch on the Hallmark Channel.
They're always making that.
Why?
It's so sappy because there's nothing bad in it. So when you live in interesting times as we do now, sometimes you need a complete vacation from reality in a good way.
It's kind of tough to remember her sex pot Maxim magazine past
I know, right?
as a JAG.
Well, they're redoing
Star?
JAG, aren't they?
I don't think so.
I heard they were thinking of redoing JAG.
Well, we have like at least 3 NCISs. We don't need a JAG.
Well, they brought him back. What was his name? Mac?
Yeah, Matt. They brought Mac back.
No,
Mac
was the woman. So he, right?
the guy. Yeah,
Was the guy?
They had a bit of a reunion on NCIS.
On NCIS.
Yeah.
And so there was talk about redoing it.
I don't think they'll do it.
Okay, Google it.
I don't think they'll do it.
We'll have to research this.
But the Good Witch was like, you can't kill that thing. It's a series. It's a bunch of movies. And
wasn't it a cartoon at one point, I want to say?
no, that's Sabrina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does
Does the Good Witch have a cat?
That's not a witch.
Doesn't have a Salem, so she's not like Sabrina.
Do you know what?
No broom?
Okay, you mentioned Salem. Legend of Sleepy Hollow, that show. I missed it. That it went
Sleepy
away.
Hollow, yeah. The star of that show, he's turned up on something else. Hey, vamp for a minute, Tom. I saw
What
this.
are you watching?
Sleepy Hollow, it started good, and then it got into the Four Horsemen, and then they tried to make fun of Hamilton for a minute there, which I thought was brilliant. They could have done it a little bit earlier, but then just sort of quietly went away.
Well, and I think when they got rid of the main leading lady, too, and I never understood why. She was great.
I think it was one of those cases of it was a great idea. It started strong, but then they just went, "Oh, we have to develop more stuff." We
didn't think it'd last more than a
don't have
season.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it lasted a couple more seasons than I expected. He's currently Tom Meisen, who played the main character on Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
He is currently on Watchmen.
Ooh,
He doesn't have a beard, so I didn't recognize
that
him.
I do want to see.
That's why I recognize him.
So far, pretty interesting.
Yeah. So what's it on? It's on.
It's on HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a very trippy thing. First of all, have you? I'm not going to even deign to ask if you've read the comic
No,
book.
I don't know anything about it. I just saw the TV version. Going, what is that about?
Yeah, well,
The masks are creepy.
and it takes place in the timeline after the events of Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who've never read the comic book, you plebes, I'm only going to say watch the Zack Snyder Ultimate Edition. You know, the one that wasn't in theaters, because Zack Snyder is an artiste.
Keep telling yourself that.
I'm going to tell that to people, only because it was in the days before Justice League fucked things up. So
Yeah, so this is the world. Is this the world where Nixon got off?
and he ran
Tanned, rested, and ready?
and now we have President Redford.
That's
Robert
one of my
Redford.
favorite shirts. Shirts from Preacher. Nixon, now more than ever.
I gave up on Preacher.
It was 4 seasons.
No, 3 seasons. It was 3.
It was 4.
It was 3.
4.
It was 3.
4.
Do you really want me to go to the ticker tape?
Yep.
Seriously?
Okay.
This is one of the few times I'm not that drunk enough I could go, yeah, it was 3. So, I can say
Is there
that.
a wager on this?
Not yet.
Yeah, because you're scared because Preacher did in fact go 4 seasons.
Hold that thought.
Yep.
I think there's a reason behind that, but I'm not drunk enough.
Anyway, there were 4 seasons. And Cassidy, one of my favorite shirts of his was Nixon, now more than ever.
Because, Scottish vampires. Irish vampires.
I'm looking on Etsy right now to find it.
Where
Anyway, back
were
to
we on that tangent?
we were talking about Watchmen
Oh, yeah.
and whether Laura should see it or not, and she probably will eventually.
Yeah. Only because Regina King is a badass, and there's the joy of Louis Gossett Jr. That's all I'm going to say.
In a while.
Yeah. You would not recognize him. I had to blink and go, oh, wait, that's you. And the score to Watchmen is being done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Oh, yeah. I read some of that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good, too.
Very good.
Looks
very
good. Sounds good.
And
Well, now that Trent Reznor's done a 180 on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, now he's all for it now. Now that he's eligible.
strange how that happens. Wait, isn't he like Apple's brand ambassador or some shit like that? Or
I would hope not.
I thought I saw something in the Defiant ones.
The early editions of Nine Inch Nails would not exist if not for Apple products. So I think he should be.
I used to think it was really cool that shows like on the CW or its predecessor, what was that, the WB?
Yes.
It was a great way for independent bands to get music in there, but now everything sounds the same.
Kind of, yeah.
And it makes me
there
crazy.
There are current shows like Shameless, now entering its 10th season, coming up
Your
soon.
favorite show?
One of my favorite shows, yeah, could be my all-time favorite show. Since day one, they've used nothing but independent artists
Oh, wow.
in their music, to the point where I'm Shazamming at least 6 times an episode. And I read an interview with one of the producers of the show, John Wells, going way back to ER and
wow.
shows like that. And he and his music supervisor guys are like, we're just using independent artists. One, you don't recognize the music right away, so it doesn't distract you from the story.
Yeah.
And two, it's cheaper. It's cheaper than getting a fucking Beatles song.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah.
So if you want to, I've discovered a lot of cool music from Showtime and other shows like that, to where they just decided we're using independent artists. We can afford it a lot
How do
easier.
you tap that? That's what I want to know. As an independent
You have
artist.
really good music supervisors who are like,
No, I mean as the independent artist.
as the artist, I would like to know how to get on Shameless.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could get my band on Shameless, we could retire.
You mean Magda Vega?
Yeah, because we all love that show. So if we got on there, we'd be like, "Fuck, we're done. We can't top that."
Well, you'd be thunder fisting it in some of the aspects.
Oh yeah, we talked about this before. Did you see the movie Long Shot? Charlize Theron, Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thunderfist got a song, and
Yeah.
they paid a ridiculous amount of money for literally like 10 seconds of music.
You're kidding.
No,
We're not.
It was like a big pile of money,
That's
Yeah.
fuck you money, right?
pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
So
other words, we got to get you either onto a movie, a TV show, or we need to get you onto Chris Jericho's Rockin' Rager.
speaking of which, do you have some sports news over there?
But of course I do if you will just hit the music.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team.
From the Sports Desk, we deliver to you only the important sport, the sport of pro wrestling. No Grand Prix news here. None of that
Laura
football.
is so stoked
Is
for
this
this.
where I can go to the restroom?
You can if you want, but you will miss out on all the joy of pro wrestling. Starting with AEW, that's All Elite Wrestling. That's now on TNT.
Yeah, if you want to see All Elite Wrestling live, just go to Broovies and hang out with Tommy and Goots and all the other drunks yelling at the TV down there.
That's usually Wednesdays. Now,
Wednesday nights, yeah.
now we have a Saturday coming up, November 9th.
Huh? What?
Yeah, that'll be their pay-per-view. Full Gear is what you can catch on the big screen TVs in the bar at Broovies.
Is this a pay-per-view?
It is. So
Who's paying for that?
we'll figure it out.
I know it's not you.
We
You don't know how Venmo works.
We're trying to get the coffers going there. Don't ruin
jinx
the
it.
illusion there. But definitely stop on by November 9th.
This sounds illegal.
I don't know what you're referring to. I have no idea what you're talking about there. But catch me and the City Weeklies, Burger King, Goots, as we give you the rundown of what's going on with the Full Gear on All Elite Wrestling. Now, as far as everything else going on wrestling-wise, Impact Wrestling, hey, it's still a thing. They're still hard to kill.
Still a thing on Tuesday nights on Access TV?
Yep, they did their premiere over the weekend, on Tuesday. And big change there where the Impact heavyweight champion Brian Cage lost his championship to Sami Callihan in a cage match, but then was challenged by Tessa Blanchard. So there could be some more doings of transpiring.
Wait a minute. Tessa Blanchard from WoW?
Uh-huh.
We have some cross-promotion going on here?
I would say so.
I hate myself for knowing this much.
Well,
No, you
there's
don't.
some book out about the Women of Wrestling now too. I keep getting a pitch for it at the show, but
Really? Well, there is currently a show on Access TV on Saturday, and it's called Women of Wrestling. It's really fucking good, actually.
Yeah, by
It
the
kinda-
same producers as Glow.
It kind of combines the a bit of the campiness of the original Glow back in the day with actual wrestling, and it's like really well done.
Well, I had a question about the popularity of it, given that we have the pro wrestling president right now. So
Oh,
that-
I'm a president now. All right. I'm sorry, I'm a CEO.
We are-
because I have an MBA. Oh, did I mention I have an MBA?
Oh man, if I had a drink, I'd drink to that.
Well,
but
for God's sake,
we're currently in a
a wrestling renaissance.
I was going to say glut, but okay, sure. There's wrestling is exploding all over the place. It's you can't avoid it. What between AEW versus WWE versus
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan Pro Wrestling
Versus Impact.
versus WoW.
Versus Red Badge of Courage. Excuse me, Ring of Honor.
There's still
That's
that.
that's a developing story. We'll have to get to that later. And also NWA. Excuse me, Billy Corgan's NWA. Yes, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins.
Does he
still
I'm
look
not
like-
joking.
Does he still look like Uncle What's his name?
Pretty-
Oh,
Uncle
he's
Fester?
Uncle
Yeah.
Festering it. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, there is quite the gluttony of professional wrestling in that aspect. But that's the good news. That's really the good news.
For sports fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's some bad news.
Oh no, what happened?
Who
Who died?
let's say fans' interest in WWE.
Oh,
Oh, you know where I'm going with this?
do we have a rating suckhole happening for WWE?
And I start with this. Over the week, WWE held its pay-per-view Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which you can still...
I'm curious to hear how they actually let women participate.
oh, wait.
I'm curious to hear how
You're
this.
getting ahead of yourself, sir. You're getting ahead of yourself. But of course, if you wanted to watch this, you could catch it on the WWE Network for only $9.99.
Not a sponsor.
Ah,
But Tommy will give you his password.
only if you pay me. That's how that works.
Venmo it to him.
But here's how it goes. Let's start with the good, and then we'll get into Gootz's report. WWE's Crown Jewel had two great things that happened to it. Starting with the first women's wrestling match in Saudi Arabia ever, with Natalya, Natty Neidhart of the Hart family, against Lacey Evans. But here's the kicker, and you'll have to see this to appreciate it.
They were both executed.
Both wore burqas,
If only.
hijabs.
Close enough. They had to be head to toe, fully clothed, and now Lacey Evans and Natalya typically have somewhat revealing wrestling gear, so they had to wear t-shirts over their normal gear. But all the reports were it was a very emotional wrestling match, but still got everybody up on their seat, and very great match up there. Goots mentioned in his review that somebody from the fans threw a water bottle at Natalya that just clipped her calf, and she just kept walking. She just looked in and just kept walking on. Because why? She's a Canadian wrestler. That's just how tough they are,
They're used to having liquid thrown at them.
right? And
Probably Molson's
well, yeah.
or Mooseheads.
Well, it's a Calgary thing. Let's
Yes.
just go with that. The other matchup was the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, against Cain Velasquez, who's now a UFC fighter signed with WWE. Brock Lesnar beat the hell out of Cain Velasquez, and that was it. Oh, and of course, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, beat Seth Rollins to get the WWE Universal Championship. After that, it was just pretty much, and I'm going with Gootz's report here that he filed. It wasn't even worth my time. I just kind of tuned in, and I don't know. I just felt like I just wasn't that interested into it, Tommy. Hey, what do you feel about
That's a
what?
hell of a report.
Well, it kind of goes on. Hey, are we still doing AEW at Broovies?
That's worth every penny we paid for
Is
it.
this the match where our president got booed at the UFC? I mean, does he now have a villain line going on at these things?
Oh, that's a separate story.
That's just real life.
It's kind of
If he wants to right the ship with, first of all, he got booed at the World Series. Now he's going to be booed at a UFC match.
oh yeah.
I think if he wants to find middle ground, he should show up at AEW.
Or no, they won't allow him there. WWE, on the other hand,
Okay, WWE.
and
is
here's
he
where
should
the
be.
suck comes in. So after WWE, and this is being reported now. It's reported as rumors, but there's some facts to it. WWE talent had trouble leaving Saudi Arabia, but here's where it gets real sucky at this point.
Did they have to Argo that shit?
Worse.
What?
Okay, so now keep in mind this is rumors. WWE, and I'm going from.
Has TMZ confirmed this? Because that's where we get our news.
They haven't, because I'm scooping this at this point.
Oh, we're TMZ. Okay.
We're TMZ in the motherfucker.
All right.
Rumor, according to slam.canoe.com, the Calgary paper of note, rumor has it that it was not mechanical issues that caused WWE superstars to be held up in Saudi Arabia, but the result of a disagreement between the WWE and the General Sports Support Authority there. It is interesting that the flight issues came after WWE revealed that they hadn't renewed broadcast deals in various markets around the world, specifically Saudi Arabia. And this is interesting because 10 of the superstars, Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar, flew out of there no problem. The other 20, the bottom card, were stuck in Saudi Arabia until they could get those deals reached. To which some WWE wrestlers went to Twitter, like you do, to, vent their concerns.
Twitter always make things better.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Starting.
It's an MBS situation, a Khashoggi kind of deal going on.
Oh, God. Oh, it went to areas like where Curtis Axel, that would be Mr. Perfect's son, going, I'm not the top 20. I'm number one at home. We don't leave each other behind, WWE. And then Luke Harper, one of the other wrestlers, going, Larry, I'm home. I guess I didn't want it enough to pay for my own charter, but I'm home now. And Tyson Kidd, he's like one of the road agents and producers, going, next time we'll pool our money together instead of being lazy in terms of getting a ride back home.
Oh my gosh.
So little things like that.
They held him up until they signed his deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the
The way
thing
the world
behind
works now, huh?
That's nothing to lose your head over.
Ooh.
it. Too soon?
Yeah.
Too soon, man. Way too soon.
Depends if they keyword this back.
I'm edgy like that.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I do, yeah.
But, at this point, the only bad news about it was SmackDown was kind of missing half their roster because, travel delays. But the good news was, and this is the final part, NXT, that's WWE's AAA level wrestling league, stepped up into the SmackDown roster and turned out to have a very good show on SmackDown on Fox, which, didn't get preempted for a World Series or anything.
Fake sports.
Yeah, thank you. So at that point, all the NXT's invasion of SmackDown going to lead up to some more challenges for their upcoming pay-per-view Survivor Series. More on that story as it develops, because why? It's sports.
And sports at Tommy Largo. Go team.
So much sportage, I'm telling you. And I know that bored look on your face is going,
Wake Laura
why
up.
didn't I drink enough?
I know.
Tap Laura, wake her up.
All the chemicals in the South Salt Lake water are kind of starting to fade. So.
See, that's why you have to drink
Hey,
beer.
that's partially filtered. Only partially filtered. So, we're just going to jump into, we're going to tell the people what they should be watching harder
Have
in
we
the
reached
coming
the
week.
end?
Yes, we have,
Oh,
yeah.
God. All right. So, we start.
Well, first, I want to start with Laura.
Okay.
If you wanted to recommend one or two programs to people They can be old, they can be new, they can be whatever you want. It's like
Something borrowed, something blue.
something
Yeah.
you would say like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you should check this show out."
Then give the Nancy Drew a try in Stumptown on somewhat regular TV, but then also find The Expanse.
I believe all of The Expanse is now on Amazon Prime Video. I think so. That would be a smart move if they haven't already, because they're going to be premiering a new season over there.
Yeah, but I'm not holding my breath on that either.
Yeah, it's Prime Video. You never know.
Well, it's only Prime Good.
It's only Prime Good. Here's something coming up on Monday, November 4th. You'll probably hear this on Tuesday. His Dark Materials on HBO, adapting Philip Pullman's trilogy of the same name. It's from a book. Don't let that scare you off.
I think I saw a preview for that or a teaser, and I was like, what?
I don't
is
quite
that?
understand what it is. It stars James McAvoy, Lin-Manuel Miranda,
That's who
Ruth
I
Wilson.
saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know nothing about it. It looks very supernatural, very...
Will there
Yeah.
be rap singing involved, or
rap singing?
like Hamilton?
Whose grandpa are you?
The ones that go to the theater. Rap
No,
singing.
it's not a musical, okay?
Okay.
It's not Hamilton. Everything Lin-Manuel Miranda does is not Hamilton.
Could be like Hamilton, just saying.
Fuck you and your Hamilton. Here's a series from a couple of years ago, The End of the Fucking World on Netflix, adapted from yet another comic book adaptation about a pair of young people who decided, like, fuck it, we're going on the road, we're escaping, and at the end of the series, the first season, it kind of looked like one of them got killed.
Ooh.
We're going to see if we get some resolution on that.
Dun, dun, dun.
It was a very, very good series, but it's been almost 2 years
Oh.
since they've made a second season of this.
All right.
Also, Seth Meyers has a stand-up special.
Oh, okay.
As
Is that
if-
on?
as if-
Stand up? Was he sit behind a desk and
Nope.
do a closer
No,
look?
he's
No.
walking around.
Walking around, it's on Netflix, called
That's a good muscle for him.
Lobby Baby. If you don't get enough Seth Meyers 5 nights a week, here's another thing. And if you've never watched his A Closer Look series, you should definitely check
It's
it
good
out.
stuff.
It's probably the best part of the show, really. And
He
they're
just
all on
mumbles
YouTube.
so much, and he talks really fast.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Miss
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. Coming up on Friday, if you want a sneak peek of what's happening over on Disney Plus, on ABC Freeform, and Disney Channel, you can see the first episode of High School Musical, the series.
I'm not writing.
Why
that
do they
down.
call it that? Why? They torture us.
Here's what's happening here.
I'm not writing this down as
There's
watch
a
party.
at the East High School. This is all filmed here in Salt Lake City, by the way. East High School current students of East High School are doing a stage production of Doink Doink High School Musical, and then this is a mockumentary about the behind the scenes drama of them making. It's so meta it hurts.
Yeah, and it hurts me to write this, but I'm just so you're aware, I'm putting this down in the FTS column, the fuck that show column.
High School Musical, the series.
No.
On Disney Plus. That'll be premiering next week over there, but you can catch the first episode for free on Channel 4, ABC here locally.
Nope.
Coming up on Sunday, season 10 of Shameless. Emmy Rossum is gone, but Willie Mates Macy is still there, and he's got time to
now.
kill. Well, he's got time to kill since Felicity's in jail.
She's out. She's out. She got out early. She only had 14 days and she did 10.
Yeah. Go with that.
I don't think Lori Laughlin's going to get off that easy.
No.
No. And also season 4 of Rick and Morty.
Oh, and they were featured prominently during All Elite Wrestling. So
The Rick and Morty promotion across all things Warner Brothers is reached saturation point. I think I even saw some Rick and Morty promotion happening on CNN.
Oh, really? On
Which
CNN?
is like, it's,
Did Wolf Blitzer go as Pickle Rick?
see, to get down in the weeds here, the SE Cup show on CNN featured some heavy Rick and Morty promotion. So between SE Cup telling you what's happening with the impeachment scandal, here's Rick and Morty.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of a surreal.
Was Don Lemon Morty at that point? or-
Don Lemon was nowhere to be found. So.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of comedy,
Sure.
I
know.
was
The
I was
absence.
feeling really good about Saturday Night Live until the recent episode with Kristen Stewart.
That was a bad one.
Oh my god.
That was not a good one.
The less we talk about it, the better.
The one the week before, though, Chance the Rapper, I think it was.
Yes.
And then the week before that, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was really good.
Yeah, the previous couple of weeks were very strong, and then Kristen Stewart kind of dropped the ball.
Just
Yeah.
well, and it wasn't even. Maybe she's uninspiring as a comic muse because all
Probably
of it,
not.
all of it.
Even Weekend Update.
It was horrible.
Flat as
It was
hell.
horrible.
Yeah.
Wow. Not even Michael Che and Colin Jost.
Oh, he had a whole
could
thing where
sit-
he like that one bit that he did about the things he couldn't say on the joke.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, that was good.
Yes.
It was disgusting. but it
Other
was
than
good.
that,
Hot garbage.
I blame Coldplay.
Oh, that too. They were horrible. What was with all the dancing? Like
They
David
were-
Byrne, who already did that.
They're
Yes.
always horrible. Can we all agree on this?
Yeah, if you're checking your DVR for Saturday Night Live, I would say just don't
dump
bother.
it. Dump it.
Oh, hang on. Let me put that in the Fuck That Show column.
Yeah. Also shows you should be watching right now, Stumptown over on ABC
Yes.
Wednesday nights,
It's good.
obviously. The new seasons, I keep hammering this home week after week. The new seasons of two shows that have been on for fucking ever. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and South Park are killing it
Are they?
this season. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is season 14. South Park is season 23. Oh my gosh. And they're both doing pretty well. Last week in particular, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia did a film noir episode for Halloween. The episode was called The Janitor Always Mops Twice,
Oh, God.
and it was fucking fantastic.
Have you watched The Unicorn at all, Walter
Yes.
Goggins? Is it good?
Well,
Hit and miss?
Eh.
I'd say everybody around him is good.
And he's horrible.
It's well,
That's
it's
why I
No.
worry. His
it's
teeth
kind-
are really white. Have you
well,
noticed
it's-
that?
Walton Goggins without a southern accent is just
No.
wrong. But
It's
Michaela
Dermot
Watkins
Mulroney.
and Rob Corddry are really funny. And the show is not quite there.
So what's up with the new movie, or was it a new series, Deadwood?
Movie
Okay.
came out a few months ago.
It's been out? Damn.
Yeah, it's been out for a few months.
It's all right. You can catch up.
It was okay.
Was it?
It
We didn't talk about it that much.
it wasn't a letdown from the series. It also didn't elevate anything. So it was just kind of there. It was kind of like a band coming out and playing the greatest hits.
Well, okay, this is here again. Can't remember the characters' names. the foil that owned the saloon. Who is that guy?
Swearingen?
Swearingen, yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
The real actor, though. What's he in? Because I love anything he's
Ian
in.
McShane?
Yeah,
Ian McShane. He's in everything.
He was recently in John Wick 3, Parabellum.
That's right.
Also, American Gods.
I haven't watched.
Worth checking out.
It's
You may
yeah.
recall a demon character from Evil on CBS. I'm pretty sure that was his voice. I'm pretty sure that was his voice.
The very first one that visited her in the night?
Yes.
Okay.
I would swear because
That show scares the crap out of me.
Evil on CBS was starring Luke Cage.
Sweet Christmas.
Yeah,
Who apparently likes to microdose.
apparently so.
Well, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
The same night that Evil premiered, Ian McShane was also a guest on Law and Order SVU. So he was like dueling McShanes.
That's a good show
Chewing
right
the
there.
scenery.
Dueling McShanes,
Let's write that
yes.
show for him.
Let's get that on Netflix.
Let's also add into into the watch harder list Arrowverse because Crisis on Infinite Earths.
You're excited
Yeah.
for that, and that's about it.
Well, that and Batwoman is turning out to be pretty damn good. That is very awesome.
I gotta wear a wig and
That's
lipstick.
tonight,
Fine.
isn't it? That's tonight, right?
Right
I can go
now,
home and
as
watch
we're
that.
talking.
Recording
Right.
live.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Watchmen. Also is a great show.
Watchmen on HBO, yes, definitely.
Yeah, and Tim Blake Nelson as the Looking Glass. Creepy as fuck, but
Yeah, we haven't mentioned Real Time with Bill Maher for a while just because we've seen it. But apparently Dennis Prager was on. Anybody familiar with Dennis Prager? World's most boring AM radio right-wing talk show host.
oh, that's still a
Did
thing.
Bill have fun with him?
Yeah, well, Dennis Prager said America is the least racist country on the planet.
Wait, what?
Okay,
And
sure.
what was the response to that?
I didn't see, but just that was enough to make me watch.
Yeah.
Also, if you have subscribed or you are currently doing the free trial period for Apple TV Plus, check out the morning show. Fuck Jason Momoa's show.
Yeah.
For All Mankind, could go either way on that one. One I really liked was Dickinson. Haley Steinfeld
Oh.
I
as
hear that's
Emily
supposed to be
Dickinson.
good, yeah.
Basically, Emily Dickinson with a modern millennial twist. Little bit of snark going on.
Wasn't
It,
Haley
it, it's
Steinfeld
ma-
on,
it makes me think like, why isn't this not on the CW?
wasn't Haley Steinfeld on Agents of Shield or?
She might have been,
Okay.
but
The show reminds me of one that was out of Britain. It was a Jane Austen spoof.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
think so, yeah,
Do
I
you
don't
think that
remember.
inspired it?
maybe yeah.
Probably.
It's one of the better Apple TV Plus shows. And as a reminder, you don't need to be an Apple product user to use Apple TV Plus. You can use it on anything.
Oh, speaking of making fun of,
It's like iTunes.
yeah,
It'll work on anything. Maybe not well, but it'll work on anything.
And speaking of making fun of tech overlords, Silicon Valley. This season, the final season. Oh my God, they're going out guns a blazing.
And also the show that follows it, I don't think we've talked enough about it. Mrs. Fletcher, starring Jessica Hahn.
Oh.
She's a 40-something single mom whose only son has just recently gone off to college. So it's kind of a dual storyline. Like she's an empty nester, and he's like out of the house for the first time ever.
So they're both going off the deep end?
They're both like, what the fuck's happening?
How do I deal with life?
Mrs. Fletcher is like,
I'm horny.
fucking a lot of random dudes, and he not so much.
I've been getting a lot of pop-up ads. I'm addicted to this really horrible game on Washington Post website. And so every time I have to start a new game, I have to watch an ad. For like a week straight, it was Limetown on Facebook Watch.
Limetown, yeah, it is it's a story of a podcaster played by Jessica Biel, who is going to investigate a murder in a small town.
Well, it's like a murder of like disappearance of like 300 people or something, right?
Wait a minute, murder podcast? Fuck that noise.
Yeah, those are the kind of podcasts that are killing this one, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that one's in podcasts about toy trains.
And you
Apparently.
know why? To channel my inner Shaylee. Just
Basic white bitches love murder podcasts. That's true, yeah.
it's on the
Limetown.
Slack channel.
Wait. You mentioned the bitch word. So what was that one that they had on network TV for a while? It was out of Texas. They're redoing this one. Something great bitches. What is it? You know what I'm talking? GBC?
Yeah. GBC.
Yeah, you guys aren't interested.
GCB.
No. I just don't know the name.
Good Christian bitches.
That's it.
Yeah, it lasted like maybe
I thought it was
I
funny.
don't know if he even did 13 episodes. It was on ABC. Kristen Chenoweth was in there,
Yeah.
and it was a good cast.
It was good.
It was a comedy called Good Christian Bitches, GCB. But they're going to do some sort of reboot on the CW. But it hasn't been gone that long, so I don't know. We'll keep, as they say on news radio, we'll eye this situation as it develops.
This story is developing. We are having our best reporters on the scene as it develops.
Yeah. Also, I would actually, I don't know if I can recommend this anymore unless you've been there from the beginning. The current season of Van Helsing. It's interesting, but it's not something a normal person could jump into and figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Unless you've been there from the beginning. And I believe the first few seasons are on Netflix.
I would say Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this show.
Huh?
Just, binge it and really get invested into it. And if you're still in after
I mean,
two
it
seasons,
started off great.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went off the rails. Basically, we had a vampire apocalypse that wiped out the planet.
Like you
And
do.
you have the descendant of a vampire killer Van Helsing, Vanessa Van Helsing. She didn't know she was that. Kelly
Really?
Overton.
With the last name Van Helsing?
Yeah, really, right? And Kelly Overton from True Blood, oddly enough. I always thought that was fucking hilarious. No one else did, but I thought that was hilarious. That you had somebody from True Blood playing Van
That's
Helsing.
just typecasting. That's that liberal Hollywood typecasting.
She played a werewolf on True Blood.
Yeah.
Why do I know this shit?
Because it's our jorb.
Why do I know all this shit?
It's your jorb to know this.
Yeah, anyway, Van Helsing, check it out.
Any others that we should recommend? Other than, AEW, Wednesday night, Dynamite.
Well, my favorite is still Women of Wrestling over at XS TV on Saturday nights. Really good.
It's real ridiculous, but really awesome. Those are our recommends for sports.
That's enough for now. And we didn't even mention that Lodge 49 got canceled.
I gave up on it after the first
Well,
season.
now there's only 2 seasons.
I
so
know. I gave up on it. I started to watch the first episode back. I'm,
You're fine.
okay.
You're okay.
It's good. It's gone.
It's here. and gone. Oh, look.
Actually, no. There are some moments in the second season. I would recommend checking it out.
Okay.
It's only 10 episodes, and there are some.
It won't hurt you.
There are some really fucking funny moments in the second
It
season.
ain't Breaking Bad, but it ain't breaking you bad. Is what
Well, when
we'll
they
say.
added what's his name at the end of the first season.
Paul Giamatti.
No, Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
They
Okay.
added him.
I don't
Bruce
know.
Campbell.
I don't know.
You don't remember Bruce Campbell in the show for like a minute?
I've already forgotten everything about
There
it.
you go.
I
Is that
have
enough?
I have a thimble of a brain to which you pour
Bohemian Brews.
like an entire growler into. Therefore, some things have to go by the wayside. Some facts about TV shows, my social security number, things like that, just kind of get pushed out.
But what a great segue to mention as we pour things out here. Our fine sponsors, not just Bohemian Brewery, but Sugar House Distillery, Outlaw Distillery, Ogden's Own Distillery that brought us the Five Wives Vodka, and your favorite, Laura Jones.
Yes.
The Underground.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which is great for a Sneaky Pete. And of
also
course,
the Boostique.
yeah,
Yes.
our good friend Ivy. Say hello to her. Tell her TV10 Podcast
Yeah,
sent you.
I would
your
say
way.
reach out to us via the Twitter, Facebook, and Gmail on TV10 Podcast, but you're not gonna, so it doesn't matter.
You've given up.
And also, I recently had someone tell me that the only podcast platform ratings that matter are Apple Podcasts. All the other ones apparently don't matter at
Really?
all. So, yeah.
So somebody
So-
depressed the fuck out of you.
So
that
don't
way.
rate us there either, and that's fine. And how many listeners do you think Radioactive has?
2.
2?
So more than
You know,
us.
I hear, people say all the time, listen to the show. And I'm
People
like,
are
"That's
saying
great."
I am hearing.
But, people don't like to be mean to your face. And
Okay.
But,
do
we
you
had a great show
have
last
access to
Friday.
numbers?
No.
Really?
We're a community radio station. We don't pay for that.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, fine.
But, no, have fun on the show.
But you should listen to Laura Jones
Yep.
and Radioactive 6 p.m.
Weeknights.
weeknights on KRCL or KRCL.
We had a great Day of the Dead show on just last Friday, and we had Barry Bostwick from Rocky Horror Picture Show stop in.
Nice.
What the hell?
He was in town for a big old, Rocky Horror Picture Show party on Saturday at the Tower.
I heard about
so he
that.
came by the show on Friday. It's actually, we ended up talking to him just a bit before the show started, and the crosstalk.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he was really funny.
Okay.
I really loved him in Spin City.
True.
Oh, that
He
was
was
Good City,
good.
yeah. Any exciting guests coming up in the coming week on Radioactive?
I'm sure eventually. I can't think. Are you kidding? You that thimble brain you were talking about? By the time I hit the weekend, there's nothing left.
Bigger
right.
question: Are you gonna have any wrestle talk? And if so, how can I get booked?
You find me some local wrestlers, I will talk to them.
Done.
We know all of them.
Because it'd be
actually.
fun to do a local.
We actually do know all
Done
of them.
and
Alright.
done.
It's you two.
Between the two of us, we
No,
know
I mean
all
that
of
is you two, right?
Oh yeah.
We're the world's worst tag team.
But no, seriously, if I can plug my show on your Not a Radio show,
Do it right ahead.
it's anything, any perspective. It's got to be local.
We'll talk later in the green room about that.
Okay.
Wrestling.
Hell, I've been on it.
Yeah.
That shows
You
you
have.
where the bar is.
And bands, we're always looking for local bands.
All right. Well, that's your purview
Well,
right there.
I have a couple of them. We haven't been on.
I know.
And-
Why haven't you been on?
It's kind of early for us.
It's early for you. It's right. You
Yeah.
guys aren't up. You're not loaded yet. Is that it?
Pretty much.
okay.
Yeah, we haven't drunk enough.
We've done the late night shows on KRCL.
Yeah.
Mostly Circus Brown.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to plug, sir?
Nothing at the moment. No, just saying we do have the 300th episode. We're going to be, I guess we're going to do this. We're going to be live at Broovies.
We're doing it live.
It's going to be so embarrassing when no one's there.
I'll be there. What is it? Unless it's during my show.
It's going to be November 17th.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's going to be a double feature with South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut, and Beavis and Butthead Do America.
So we're going pretty highbrow here.
We're
Yeah.
in conjunction with our good friends Broovies Salt Lake City. That'll be Sunday night, November 17th, 7 p.m. start time. We'll probably be there a little earlier, because we're going to have to podcast.
Oh yeah, we're going to record a show
We're doing it live.
on location.
Yes.
Sweet.
We've done this one other time and we didn't suck.
We had at least 8 people show up.
Oh, yeah.
So 7 p.m. November 17th, Broovies Salt Lake.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's all fucking happening.
Gotta bring your A game.
The 300 episode, and then we go into syndication and retire.
Is that your plan?
That's my plan.
Is that,
I don't know what you got going on, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm working on something with Melissa Merlot, so that's as far as a YouTube. I'm gonna try to
Oh
get
wow,
YouTube famous.
you're transitioning to video, huh?
That's right.
Okay, fine.
right. Yeah, well, one of us.
Podcasting's not good enough for you anymore, huh?
Well, one of us has got the face for YouTube videos, so that's how it works.
It ain't me.
But let's see. Oh, and of course, once again, stop by AEW Wednesday nights at Broovies, Salt Lake City. We're showing AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, it's at 6 p.m.
Uh-huh.
That's earlier than you can see it on cable.
Yes.
Just saying.
That's 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And, of course, November 9th, AEW's Full Gear
That's this coming
pay-per-view.
Saturday, right?
November 9th, yeah.
It is. Okay.
So check it out there, folks.
If you don't want to pay for pay-per-view,
Yeah, who wants to do that?
you can go down to Broovies and watch it on Tommy's phone.
Seriously, they would have to pay me so much to get that going. Anyway, I think that's enough on my end. Anything else on your end, sir?
No, I think we're fucking done.
Yeah, we're so fucking done.
This Sunday night, I have to get up and be on Real Radio tomorrow morning. I know, right?
God, like a plebe.
I got to be on the morning zoo.
You gotta listen to terrestrial radio? God.
Hey, man.
Phrasing.
Well, there's commercial, then there's community.
That's right.
Yeah,
You know how many commercials happen on commercial radio?
too many.
It's like you'll be listening and like, oh, I like that song. I like that song.
It's 300 seconds of wasting your time,
Here's 10 minutes of commercials.
which amounts to
Come
about,
buy a diamond, you millennial.
Wait.
Maybe I won't be on the show tomorrow.
Should I try to get you off the radio faster?
It'll be fine.
All right. In that case,
They don't listen.
Well, the important thing is we should say to our folks, thank Laura Janes for deigning her presence on our podcast.
Laura jeans?
Thank you, Tommy.
Go down to Nordstrom
Thank you,
and get your
Bill.
Laura jeans.
That means I drank enough and the genius juice is working. So good night, America. Good night,
Say goodnight, Laura.
Say goodnight, Laura.
Thank you, and jiggle that handle, Laura. It's time to flush.
The next day, I hit the pavement looking for anybody who had a problem with Frank. And, buddy, I found enough beef to open a hamburger store. Trouble is, none of them had seen Frank in days, so it all meant diddly. When it got dark, I swung by Patty's. Maybe the bad guy was hiding at the bottom of a beer bottle. I should have swung my head into a beehive. It would have been safer than turning that corner.
Leave me alone!
You're making a big mistake.
Hey! What's the matter, Joe? They don't teach you manners at the school for big palookas? The lady said scram!
You think you can clean up this mess? Be my guest.
I'm a janitor. Cleaning up messes is what I do. Now dust before I beat you like an old rug.
He sized me up, but he didn't like the fit.
Suit yourself. But you'll be back. They all come back.
There, sweetheart. No use crying over smashed pie.
Now, there was a dame with a cover charge. Her eyes glisten in the moonlight like fresh gasoline puddles. They're the kind of eyes you could fall in. And summer in. And winter in, too.
Sorry about that. My boyfriend looks like a bad apple, but once you get to know Vince, you'll like him even less.
You're too nice a girl to be playing with rotten apples.
Well, my pies haven't always been so sweet.
not spray. What do you care? In the parking lot.